Coming up next, Webster.
But we're going to start the program this morning with Mohinder Paul Singh after the break. As I understand it, after the British left in the middle 40s, there was a plan that Punjab would have self-determination. And between them, between Pakistan and India, Punjab was denied self-determination.
The picture contrary to it. On that fateful night, 15 August 1947, when British authorities, especially out Mountbatten, they were just going to transact political power to Indian leaders.
Right.
At that moment, 3 communities or different nations living on Indian subcontinent, they were considered legitimate heirs to Indian political power.
Legitimate heirs. The 3 communities. Pakistan, Punjab and India.
In more simpler terms, Hindus, Mohammedans and the Sikhs.
The Sikhs.
The Sikhs. They were considered partners and heir to Indian political power, soon going to be handed over to Indian leaders. Around August 1947. What happened actually? Hindus led by Mahatma Gandhi and first Prime Minister of independent India, Pandit Nehru, and a Hindu fanatic, I say, Mr. Patel, he was Home Minister.
Right.
And Mohammedan led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and the Sikhs were guided by Master Tara Singh.
But you're losing me here. You're losing me. Is it not a fact that after that kerfuffle, after all the slaughter, you were left with two nations on the subcontinent?
I meant to say how it happened. Those 3 here, they were to be treated as equal brothers by the outgoing British authorities.
But they weren't.
They weren't. Why they weren't? The nucleus, root cause of the problem goes to that event. I'm going to elaborate.
No, not forever you're not going to elaborate. The root cause of the problem now is that the Sikhs did not get self-determination.
Why didn't they get? Why didn't Hindu leaders entrapped Sikh leaders to side with them to accelerate the freedom process?
But the fact remains that now we have a situation whereby many Sikhs throughout the world want to see what they thought there was that promise now kept.
Yes.
They want to see the Punjab become the state of Khalistan.
Yes.
What I want to know from you is, how can you involve Canada in this fight? How can anybody set up a so-called consulate for the Republic of Khalistan when India is a diplomatic friend of Canada?
A Commonwealth member too.
And Commonwealth. And we have friendly relations with India. And here are these people who want the state of Khalistan doing their best to rupture relations between Canada and India.
Maybe. I don't agree with it. Actually, what's going on in Punjab now, the fight among the brothers there, younger brother, junior brother, Sikh nation, Sikh community, they are fighting for justice, which they were denied by the Indian leaders. On their solemn pledge, they put their lot with Indian leaders. Then they changed their face. It's on history, it's on record. What's happening in Punjab now? Main political spokesman of the Sikhs, that's Akali Dal. Therefore, Sikh are a separate nation. And few extremist people among the Sikh community, they are launching much more extremist movement that is separate state for the Sikhs.
I understand. Now, are you one of the extremists?
Maybe in between.
Tell me, are you a Canadian citizen living in this country?
No, I'm just a visitor, a missionary.
Are you a legal visitor to this country?
No, legal visitor.
You are a legal
visitor.
Do you plan to stay?
If circumstances permit me.
Are you upset by the fact that the Canadian government, under pressure from the Indian government, has said, hey, no more visitors without visa. Too many are claiming refugee status.
The situation is...
Does that upset you?
It upsets me. I am in hot waters. But I fail to understand what prompted Honorable Immigration Minister to apply his acts particularly on the Sikhs and Indians. The situation in Punjab, no, I feel, no doubt, quite troubled. But yet, it hasn't touched flashpoint. Dialogue going on between Indian leaders and Sikh leaders to bring about some settlement between the main political spokesmen of the Sikhs, which Akalis are.
But you see, Mohinder, I'm looking at this from a Canadian political point of view.
Yeah.
And if I may give you some of our background, we have had two major amnesties in the past. In the 50s, we found it necessary to have an amnesty for 12,000 illegal entrants to the country from mainland China.
Yeah.
In the 70s, we found it necessary to have a major amnesty for Vietnam deserters and many other people who came into the country on that basis.
Yeah.
Obviously, and we then changed our immigration law. We then said, okay, to become an immigrant to Canada, you must get your visa as an immigrant from outside. Obviously under
It is
pressure.
applicable with Vietnamese too
No. We gave them an amnesty.
in past.
Since then, we have changed the law and said to become an immigrant to Canada, for the sake of control and order, you must apply from outside. So when all these Sikhs began to apply for refugee status, the government, on the behest of the Indian government, I'm sure,
It's there.
said, stop it. Not unreasonable.
Maybe
Not
reasonable,
unreasonable.
partly reasonable.
Why should Canada allow any group to build itself up on what could be illegal immigrants to plot separatism in India from Canada? Why should they?
It is not separatism in that sense as Indian authorities might look at. The situation is Sikhs fighting a battle, launching a movement for a justifiable, a just cause, a just establishment of their entity in India, on Indian subcontinent.
Don't argue.
And people outside Punjab, outside India, out of sympathy, being member of same community, it's their natural right to sympathize with them or not.
Just a minute. Right now, your consuls for Khalistan are issuing so-called passports, so-called currency, setting up the appearance of a separate state here. We can't tolerate this, can we?
Because the situation is when some movement is launched, it has to be launched for so many corners.
So you're going to launch
strategy. It's a strategy,
So you're
baby.
going to launch it here. You're going to launch it here.
I am not in picture. I am not well acquainted with what the developments are going on.
We'll do another short segment with you to clean up a few points which still baffle me with Mohinder Paul Singh, who's a visitor priest from the Punjab.
Punjab.
You might be in
But I am
trouble.
well acquainted with the situation there, what's going on in Punjab.
But you could be in trouble when you go home
I suspect.
after the break. Let me concede, if only for the sake of clarity, to Mohinder Paul Singh, who's a visiting priest from India. We'll concede that you have a cause for a separate Punjab called Khalistan. Let me concede that.
Yeah.
Because your complicated story of the history will be lost on me and my viewers.
Yes. But I'm enforced to.
No,
I have my
but-
limitations.
No, you have no limitations.
When I have to just give my views on the present situation, I must look back in the backdrop.
I know, but best if I ask you simple questions. Do you approve of military training for dissident Sikhs in Canada to fight a battle in India?
It again goes to the past.
Yes or no?
Because militant resistance and militant means to achieve justice are part and parcel of Sikh doctrine,
You mean you fight?
elaborated by 10th Master.
You
He
are a
said,
warlike race.
we are militant. I think Sikh is the best soldier of the whole, as the history goes.
The British would tell you the same thing. The Sikhs
Same.
were their best soldiers. And the Gurkhas. And the
And a
Gurkhas.
Sikh naturally militant.
But just
by
a
birth
moment.
he is fighter.
Are you entitled to do that kind of preparation for fighting from a country of Canada, which has peaceful relations with India?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
You approve of it? Yes. Tell me yes.
Not exactly, no comments at the moment.
Oh, no comment.
No comment.
Just a glint in your eye. A warlike Sikh
But I see.
glint in your eye, but no comment.
I just hope for the best in future. Circumstances take their own turn.
But would you not expect the Canadian authorities, pushed by the Indian diplomats to crack down on your so-called consulate general and close it. Would you not expect that?
We could expect.
Do you think they will do
Government could
that?
expect, yeah, government could do.
How many Sikhs are there in Canada? 60,000?
About 60,000 in lower mainland. No, in all of
In
Canada,
lower
more
mainland?
than 1 lakh, more than 1/10 million. In whole of Canada.
A lakh.
More than a lakh, 1/10 million, more than
100,000.
100,000.
Yeah.
A lakh in Indian term.
A lakh.
Yeah.
A lakh of rupees.
Lakh of rupees.
Okay, 100,000. Are they all militant? No.
No.
How many have become Canadianized? How many have become eaten away by the soft life in Canada?
Soft life in Canada has got its own impact on Sikh people here.
Because I know Sikhs who do not wear the turban.
I know. I know. I'm aware of their complications, their limitations too. They are Sikh by faith, by profession, but sometimes their observances, formalities, and their costumes, regulations, they feel a bit hard in these present circumstances, particularly in Western lifestyle.
All right, other 60,000 Sikhs in British Columbia, how many of them support your warlike stance?
Sentimentally, all the Sikhs supporting us.
Really supporting?
Sentimentally, the word sentimentally.
All of them
Maybe
support
not
you.
actively supporting us.
How many actively support you?
I don't have the figure at the moment.
Enough to fill the Sikh temple?
Enough, more than enough, I think.
More than enough to fill
Whenever there's some cause, for justice, it's a right cause, noble cause it is. Because Khalsa shall rule is the slogan, as a holy song reverberating throughout the history. And no
Khalsa
Sikh can
Daiva.
deny, Khalsa shall rule. Khalsa, an individual, group of individuals who are destined to rule in the name of God. They will administer justice for the welfare of mankind as a whole.
Mohinder Paul Singh, I fully accept without argument your faith, the premises of your faith, right? I wish I had the same kind of faith. I'm merely saying that don't you feel a little bit arrogant in adopting this attitude in Canada, where we don't want any trouble
we are not
with
getting
India?
arrogant. Sikhs in Canada, they are law-abiding people, peaceful community, doing no mischief, creating no fuss, no problem for authorities.
Not if they start military training to go fight in the Punjab.
It's not specifically in Canada too. Sikhs, wherever they are preparing to face the hardships,
Of
to
a
achieve
war.
their destiny.
Of a war.
War may be, militant resistance may be last resort.
All right.
Last weapon.
I've done my best.
Not at the moment,
I've
I
done
think.
my best. You're a very good spokesman for the Sikh faith. But
Thanks
tell
for
me,
your kind compliments.
are you the secret courier who brought out messages from the Punjab for Jagit Singh?
Sikh courier,
Secret-
I am not
You're not.
aware of.
Have you applied for political refugee?
Mine allegiance to Chief Khalsa Diwan, a historical organization of the Sikhs, who stand for separate, full-fledged, independent entity of Sikh nation, and we are fighting for it. My allegiance to that organization.
Well, let me ask you this question in closing. Are you going to fight for it in Canada or in India?
Wherever my community, my nation needs me to pull my string.
Have
to
you
pull my-
applied for status as a political refugee in Canada?
Not yet.
Will you?
I can expect. I am not certain about it at the moment.
You may do.
I may go back.
And apply for a landed immigrant status to come here.
I can't say. I can't say. I may be needed much more in my own homeland to assist my brethren who are already in the war front.
Mohinder, you've shed some light on this for me, and I'm grateful for your presence here this morning.
Thanks a lot.
Mohinder Paul Singh, visiting priest at the Sikh temple. Thank you,
Thanks a
Mohinder.
lot.